I recently came across this quote: "My goal is no longer to get more done, but rather to have less to do."
Hello, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Too bad.
And while certain tasks in life are necessary and need to be on your to-do list, such as cooking dinner for your family, I found, however, that there is a way to make the process simpler. And today I'm going to share with you 7 habits that I do on a weekly basis that really help me stay organized with this and just make the whole process take so much less time and effort. The first habit I've incorporated is to make a general spreadsheet. This is nothing fancy. It's simply a list of meals that I love to make, my family loves as well. It's something I've made multiple times before and I know how to make them by heart. I don't need to have the recipe in front of me. And so these go in my general spreadsheet. I haven't counted exactly how many I have on there, but probably around 20 or 30 recipes. This is something I've incorporated after seeing other minimalist moms do a similar process, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. So I do still sometimes add things to that list, but it's really helpful to have it all in one place. I keep it in my ClickUp board just because that's the system I use for organizing my business. So I kind of keep my personal stuff on there too. It's just helpful to have everything in one place. I have a column for chicken meals, one for fish meals, and then one for kind of random meals. And what this means is that every week when I want to meal plan for the week ahead, I simply go to that spreadsheet and pick my meals from there. It makes the whole process so much easier. I don't have to be scrambling and trying to find recipes at the end of the week. This has simplified the process a lot for me. The second habit I've incorporated is to use grocery delivery. I know this is not for everybody, but for our family it has worked really, really well. I have a toddler and a 6-year-old, and so going to the shop every week to do a big food shop is just overwhelming. First of all, it's stressful. I feel like I can't focus on everything that I need to find. I have to be going around the aisles constantly to, find where things are. For me, it has helped a lot to just do it online. I do it on my phone, and it's also saved me a lot of money because it means less impulse buys. You can see your total before you actually check out. You can see how many things you have in your list. Whereas if you're in the shop and you're just kind of shoving things in the basket, it can be a lot more of an impulse shopping kind of thing. I personally, at the moment, use Tesco. I've used other services in the past. They have this little subscription service to where I think it's about £8 per month. So that's £2 per delivery for us, which I think is great for having all of our food delivered and saving me all that time going into the grocery shop with the kids. So what I do is I go on the app and I place my slot, my delivery slot, about a week before so that I know I have my slot secured. I simply check out quickly with a few items in my basket, and then I can change the order later on before it's actually delivered, about a day before. Then the third habit I've incorporated is to meal plan every single Sunday. I mean, it doesn't have to be Sunday, it can be any day of the week you prefer. For me, I've just kind of gotten into this routine, so every Sunday I take a little bit of time to do this. So I go through that general spreadsheet and I pick 5 meals to have for dinners the next week. And this process usually takes me less than 5 minutes, and I write them down in a notes app on my phone. And that's my 5 out of 30 rule. I just pick 5 meals out of the 30 or however many I have on there. I know some people might plan more or less dinners. For us, I find that 5 dinners is plenty to get us through the week, because on a Friday we usually have a takeaway. It's usually our pizza party Friday night, woo woo, or we have a different takeaway if we don't fancy pizza that day, but usually it's a pizza. So one day a week we have delivery, and then one day we usually kind of have leftovers from the night before, or sometimes we go somewhere at the weekend and we might eat there. So that's just kind of what works for us. The next thing I do is I go on the food ordering app. I have the notes app opened with all the meals I've planned. So let's say it's the Jamie pasta, because I already know what ingredients I need for that recipe. So for this one I might add, spaghetti or penne pasta, some sausages, tomato sauce, some parmesan, things like that. So everything that I need, I will add it in my food shop. And again, this process usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. It's not very long. And one thing I also do throughout the week is if I remember, oh, we're running out of sugar, I will quickly go to the Tesco grocery app and I will just add, sugar on my next food order. And it's just so much simpler than having a million, shopping lists everywhere. and trying to scramble to find them, to take them to the grocery shop. For me personally, it's just simplified the process a lot. Once I've added the ingredients for my 5 dinners into my food shop, I will move on to the next habit that I do, which is to add my other things that we need for the week. And for this, a lot of the food ordering apps have this kind of list of your favorites or things you order usually. So I will go through those usuals, and it's just really helpful because it's kind of a quick reminder of what sometimes I get, what I can incorporate for lunches. I keep lunches very simple, like it might be a salad or a soup or a sandwich, something like that. Sometimes it's eggs and bacon, so nothing intricate. But I will go through our favorites and just add, you know, the usuals: eggs, milk, just the things I know we need for that week. And then the next thing I do before saving my order, I have the order on my phone. I can see everything that's in my shopping trolley, and I will have a quick scan through my cupboards, my fridge, my freezer to make sure that I'm not ordering something that we already have in our cupboards, so that we don't end up with duplicates, so we don't end up in, you know, wasting a lot of food. That's kind of my goal, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. I'm not saying 100%. Obviously, sometimes we still have waste, but because we do this system, usually kind of towards the end of the week, our fridge is pretty empty, which I always think it's a good sign. Don't get me wrong, we still have some things here and there, some cupboard things. We're not starving by any means, but you know, it's pretty empty, which means we have eaten a lot of the food that I planned for that week. So that's great, because that means we haven't had a lot of waste that week. That's a good sign in my book. And then on Monday, which is when I'm filming this video, we get our food shop delivered, and I make sure to put everything away straight away. And one thing that's helped here is to give everything a home. So have a little bin where all the snacks go, have a little bin where all the bread goes, have some of those clear canisters for pasta so that you can see when you run out of it. I'm curious to know if you have ways in which you have simplified your meal planning for your family. Let me know in the comments below, and have a great week ahead.